Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going, I guess, processing timber. So from cutting up a tree to splitting it into, or to cutting it up into logs, to splitting it then into smaller manageable sized chunks for burning in the fire, to storing it in the shade. So obviously first of all we have our international bale splitter to back into the tree, secure it with the blade and lift it up off the ground so I can cut it more easily. And I have the chainsaw and petrol and oil and the chainsaw toolbox, so I'm all ready to go. So first of all, the tree, as you can see, is fallen. It's on the ground here. We're going to chop it up into logs, and then we'll get our 135 and transport box, put the blocks into the box. We'll bring it back to the yard, to the log splitter, where we'll connect it to the international and split them up, put all the split ones into the transport box, and then bring it to the shed to store and season and get ready for burning over the winter of this year. So we do have a couple of trees, but this is the first tree here. So yeah, hopefully now I might be able to squeeze in more this way, back up, lift it, secure it, and then chop until I get too close to the bale splitter, and then I'll let it down, move another bit up, lift it up again, then go chop, and then so on and so forth, if you know what I mean. So I will back the tractor into this, the tree, and lift it up and see what plan of action we will take. It is secured, so when I tune up the chainsaw, this bit that's sticking up off the ground, I just chop it with the chainsaw, and then when I get to somewhere here, I lift it up so that this bit is then well up off the ground and I don't have to worry about hitting the ground or anything like that. Then I'll continue chop until I can't go anymore because of the bale splitter. I'll then let that down and I'll move the tractor and the bale splitter up another notch and then continue that way. So we'll have to tune up the chainsaw and we'll get to chopping. All chopped up, as you can see, and there's more smaller bits down this end. The likes of them probably won't need splitting, they're too small. That would probably want to be split, them size ones, and obviously near the stump of the tree where the biggest bits are, they'll definitely need splitting. So the likes of all that stuff, all that will need to be split with the log splitter. So I guess the next thing to do is pack up all the chainsaw gear, all the chainsaw equipment, which is just there, and bring them back to the yard and that's the chainsaw done, the International and the bale splitter's duty done for now. The next thing to get now is the 135 and the transport box, and we load all that stuff into the transport box and bring it back up to the shed where the log splitter is, and then we can get to splitting any bits that need splitting. So yeah, 135. And we are back with the 135 and our transport box, ready to throw in a lock at this. I'd say it should all fit into the box because we do have the extensions on it, so it should easily and comfortably fit into the box. So yeah, we will, I guess we'll throw in the big bits first, and we'll just stack the bigger bits on the outside and build some sort of like a wall, and then we can throw the smaller bits on the back, and then those bigger bits that we built up here as a wall, the smaller bits won't fall out, if you know what I mean. So we just have to make sure we don't miss anything, because everything is valuable and burnable. So yeah, I guess we'll set the camera up somewhere, time lapse, and we'll get started. All loaded and all cleared, as you can see. So it's not an awfully big load, but it's better to be in the box and be ready for burning in the cold winter months than it is to be lying in the wood rotting away. So obviously there's not a lot in the box, but anyways, it is what it is. It's better than nothing. So I guess we'll bring that back to the yard, bring it back to the shed where the log splitter is, and get it unloaded. All emptied. And we have our little pile just in here, right beside our log splitter, ready to be split You might be wondering what's in these bags. It's what we call kindling. So when we go to chop these up, we'll be chopping them up into very thin little sticks. We might be able to get maybe 4 or 5 sticks out of that, and that'll be used then to start the fire, because it's good dry seasoned wood and timber. Here's another one, for example. You'd nearly get maybe 3 or 4 out of that as well, or just 10 sticks. So there's them to be split as well, but I think we just focus on splitting this first, and then we can focus on that. Well, I'll focus on that. So yeah, there is only one problem, and it's a good problem. It's actually quite a nice day outside, so it's not really a day to be sort of cooped up inside splitting timber for an hour or two. You might as well do some outdoor work, because it's not all the time we get weather like this, so we might as well make the most of it. So I think maybe on a more duller day, more colder day, more wetter day, we'll pick back up this and we'll go splitting. So yeah, it'll probably be the next time you see me is when I'm splitting this on a more wetter day for indoor work. Now we're going splitting. It's the next day. Yesterday I brought home all the timber and all that. I have all the hydraulics hooked up, as you can see. So once I turn on the switch in the international and rev it up a small bit, this, every time I pull up or down the lever, this should move up or down. This lever here, and we'll give it a small bit of rev as well, just so that it gets a bit of power and a bit of oomph for splitting, but not too much, because it'll go too fast and all that. So all split. I threw it into the box on the 135 and I have that emptied. So I guess from start to finish, from starting to split it to emptying the box, which I've emptied now, all that only took an hour. There was only a small bit there. It only filled about a quarter of the box that's on the 135, so it wasn't too bad. So yeah, it only took an hour, which there was a more bigger pile there. Maybe if it filled the box and maybe there was maybe 2 or 3 sort of runs to go and empty the box and all that, it would take maybe a bit longer the whole day. But it was only small enough too, only a small enough tree with a small amount of timber in it, so it's not too bad. It was an easy, manageable size bit to do. But today was supposed to be the end of the good weather, which is why I was planning on doing the splitting today. But it hasn't come yet. The rain hasn't come yet. So while it is dry, I might as well go out and cut up some more lumber. But that's not going to be for a video, that'll just be my own thing to do. But yeah, that is the process from cutting up a tree to splitting it and all that sort of fun business. So that is going to be the end of today's video. Thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out my merch. The link to that will be down in the description. And I'll see you in my next video very soon. Take care.